Good day, Internet, and welcome to the Monday Night Online Open Mic presented by the legendary New Eurekan Poets Cafe. I am your host for the evening. My name is Advocate of Wordz. Happy Monday to everyone. Where are the beautiful faces? There are the beautiful faces. Happy Monday, everyone. This is going to be the last episode, the last open mic we have before the 2-year anniversary, which is next week. I'm excited about that. But let's get to business right away because we came here to hear the poetry. We have been doing this for 104 weeks in a row, every week non-stop. We do it every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. We are streaming live on YouTube and on Facebook. If you look up New Eurekan Poets Cafe on Facebook and YouTube, you will get to see all of our past Monday and Thursday night online open mics, as well as our past events like 2 Venues, 1 Mic, Hybrid, the Beatnik series, a bunch of other things. If you happen to be watching us live on Facebook or YouTube and you would like to join us on Zoom, numbers at the bottom of the screen, 279-995-364. We would like to thank the National Endowment for the Arts, the New York State Council on the Arts, the New York City Department of Cultural Affairs, Amazon Literary Partnership, and the New York Community Trust for sponsoring our free online events for the last 2 years. If you would like to help us, you too can send in a tax-deductible donation at www.nuyorican.org/contribute or hit us on the Cash App, Nuyorican Poets Cafe. Tonight's theme, surprise ending. I'm not going to front. I really like that flyer. That monkey is everything to me right now. So, surprise ending is the theme for tonight. As always, you need not be on theme to participate. If you have signed up, you need not be on theme. As I said, next week is the 2-year anniversary. And for the 2-year anniversary, it will be 2 minutes per poet. If you signed up this week, you can sign up for the 2-year anniversary. Normally, the rules are that you can't perform or sign up in consecutive weeks. But for the 2-year anniversary, we're going to make it a 2-minute rule and anyone can sign up. I am trying to get to 40 poets that night. I will be going a little bit over time because it is the anniversary, right? After that, you will see on the right-hand side, we have a lot of different themes coming up. I'm excited about Haiku Day, about Poet Appreciation. Poet Appreciation is where our open micers are not allowed to read or perform a poem they have written. They have to read or perform a poem by another poet. I'm excited about that. And for those who don't know, Red Nose Day, you see at the bottom, May 23rd, that is to bring about awareness of poverty within our youth, within our children. So all of that and more can be found on my Instagram, Twitter. You can look me up on YouTube at Advocate of Words. When you spell words, that's with a Z because poetic license, as always. So here we go. The rules, please pay attention. Poets, when you are about to perform and you know I'm going to call your name, turn your cameras on. We don't want to just see your beautiful faces. We don't want to just see if you have cleaned your rooms. We are looking to simulate an in-person open mic as much as possible. And it's really important that when we see you and hear you perform, we want to see those expressive faces. It adds to the experience. So make sure you turn your cameras on. Also, please have your poem ready. We don't want to stall the open mic. We have a lot of people on the open mic. We like to get to them in a timely manner. So if you're going analog and you've got it on paper, make sure that you got your paper out. If you have it on your computer, make sure you open that file right now and get ready. So when I call you, you're ready to hit us with the good stuff. Also, you have 3 minutes tonight to perform your poem, not 3 minutes and 15 seconds, 3 minutes to perform your poem and a 30-second intro. Remember, just quickly let the people know where they can find you online, and there you can promote everything that you're doing because we have quite a few people in our community who are doing a lot more than just attending online open mics, but I do hope that every Monday they are here hanging out with us. I really do love my Mondays and hanging out with y'all. Also, in terms of censorship, put the kiddies to bed. Some of our poets like to use, as I affectionately refer to it as, mommy and daddy language. And in a more serious tone, some of our poets tend to be very vulnerable, and it is possible they could share some poems that be quite triggering. So there is no censorship. You have been warned. Welcome to a Nuyorican Poets Cafe open mic. It's how our founders like to get down, and we are continuing with that tradition. We are not afraid of the truth, just to let y'all know. Moving forward, after our poets perform, you're going to see this pop up on your screen. For those of you joining us on Zoom, make sure you click that unmute button. Make some enemies of your neighbors, but make some friends of our poets here today. And it's never easy sharing the poetry. Our poets love to hear your feedback, so shower them with cheers and applause and all of that good stuff. Sign-ups for the show. Our open mic list is closed tonight, by the way. Sign-ups begin 24 hours before the show on Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern. To sign up, you would visit nuyorican.org and click full events calendar. After you do so, you would click the date that you are looking to sign up for. Next week, you would be clicking April 4th for the 2-year anniversary. I'm quite excited about that. After you do that, you would order an artist RSVP ticket, not the View RSVP ticket, but the artist RSVP ticket. It's the only way to get onto the open mic list. Let's Write a Book of Poems, the workshop that I am hosting here in the cafe and on Zoom. I'm going to talk about it a little bit later. this past weekend was yesterday was quite challenging. It was a lot of fun though. It was a lot of fun. We are getting intense with our poems. I feel that we're all learning a lot. I'm having a lot of fun with it. We are only 3 weeks into it. I will talk about that a little bit later. Ooh, it's getting closer. It is getting closer. Next week, submissions will be open. You can submit your poems for the anthology. It is not going to be called the Anthology Online Open Mic, and it's not an online anthology. We are going to be producing a book, a real life book. I'm going to be talking about that a little bit later, of all the poems that have been performed on the Monday and Thursday night online open mic. And also, it's Wednesday. I'm hosting the Wednesday night Poetry Slam Open at 8 p.m. Eastern Sharp. The doors open at 8 p.m. Eastern Sharp. People are showing up early for this. If you want to sign up, make sure you show up early, because by like 8:15, 8:20, we are ready to go. I've been doing it for 3 weeks. It has been a packed house. It is great. And it is like a totally different community who's coming. And I'm eager to get them involved with what we're doing with hybrid and all that other good stuff. But let's keep it moving. I'll talk about that later. This is tonight our open mic list. We have a couple of new people joining us. Contessa Brown. I don't believe Contessa has ever been on a Monday night online open mic. Hario Tezawa. Man, if I am butchering your name, please correct me. I'm big on making sure I get people's names right. And if I mess up, do not hesitate to correct me. People should know how to properly pronounce your name, including me. And we also have, you see, rounding it off, Latrell Jacobs. I don't think Latrell has ever rocked out in a Monday night online open mic either. With that being said, I think we have heard enough of my voice. You're going to be hearing it all night long. Shout out to our producer, Mr. Ron Mark Thompson, who is here with us, and we will hear from him in a little bit. Right now, we're going to Vexed Lex, a mainstay here at the Monday night online open mic and at our in-person events. Vexed, it's good to see you. You know what to do. Let the good folks know where they can find you online, and you got 3 minutes to rock out. Let's go.
All right. Thank you, Advocate. You guys can follow me on Instagram at VexLexPoetry. Got a little Vex piece today. Want to start off by saying, fuck Ron DeSantis. It's called The Gay Agenda. As a thriving member of what people refer to as the alphabet community, it is in my best interest to continue to perpetuate the gay agenda. Firstly, I would like to address the idea that our goal is to make all children gay, that we have single-handedly infiltrated their favorite cartoons and are looking to brainwash them. I find that hilarious because I grew up watching heteronormative cartoons and still grew up to become a raging lesbian. So who knows, maybe the straight agenda isn't as impactful as the gay one. Secondly, I would like to address the reality of silencing any talks regarding to sexual orientation, gender identity, LGBTQ history. Yes, I'm speaking to you, Governor Ron Praying Mantis, and all the other politicians looking to follow suit. You can sign bills until your wrists fracture. You can hide behind any convoluted political discourse. Just know we see right through you. Third, this idea that people do not care what someone's preferences are, just as long as they don't parade them around and make a spectacle of it, ties into my fourth point when people ask, why does our community need to have their own parade? Maybe for the simple fact that we want to be able to just celebrate who we are, before some of us have to go back into hiding until it's time for the next one. The bottom line is that we aren't looking to make everything gay. If something comes off gay, it probably was already that way. You want your children safe, and so do we. And we want them to know that it is okay to have these feelings. Closets aren't meant for people, no matter how big they are. And we will not stop until everyone can live without having to apologize for who they love. Thank you.
Unmute yourselves. Give it up for Vex Lex.
Loved it.
Oh, Lex. Get it all. Go.
Parade.
What a way to kick it off, Vex Lex. Make sure that you give her a follow at Vex Lex poetry. And just for the record, to let y'all know, everyone knows that it was people of color who had started the Nerican Poets Cafe. But in case you didn't know, before we had all of these terms like bisexual and pansexual and all that, the founders were within that spectrum. So I think it's safe to say that they would back that poem and Vex Lex's poetry. Make sure that you give Vex Lex a follow. All right, let's keep it moving. We starting off with fire. Also, I want to make sure that y'all know, those of us joining us in the chat, boom, I have put the open mic list there. I will keep updating who the next 5 are. And if you see at the very top, the next person coming up is Kai Brackens. Kai seemed to enjoy Vex Lex's poetry, and I got a feeling we're going to enjoy Kai's poetry. Kai, let the good folks know where they can follow you online, and you got 3 minutes to rock. It's good to see you again, sis.
All right. Thank you. So you can find me at Kai_LoudFatMixedPoet on IG. And that's really the only place I put my poetry. So this poem is a new piece called My Uncle. I will not claim to be an expert. I am not some doctor who can diagnose where it hurts and then patch up broken people with prescriptions or duct tape. I don't know where he was hurting, so I cannot make any excuses for him. All I can tell you is the cautionary tales that run through the veins of my family tree, about how there are some limbs missing from it, how some branches were dead before they even hit the ground. My great uncle was an artist, just like me. He used to paint seascapes, ships teetering chaotically in stormy waters, braving a tempest that threatened to pull it under. Those paintings were his distress signal, a flare in a clear night that we never once acknowledged, called each shot into the dark a firework instead of a cry for help. I still see the leftover smoke in the sky. My great uncle was an artist. His brother, my grandfather, says I am so much like him. I guess my uncle and I are similar in more ways than one. Art becoming the only way we know how to talk about the monster hiding in between the sheets of our skin, writing suicide notes in between the layers of our paint. My uncle was many things besides just an artist. That's just the word that hurts the least to remember him as. He was a loyal friend, he was a kind brother, and he was a loving son. He was still those things when they found him. Just with a word tacked onto that list, he was a loyal friend, a kind brother, a loving son, a good man, a talented artist, all wrapped up in a dead body. A box inside a box, a body inside a body bag. He was a coffin before he was even in the ground. It is hard to talk about my uncle's suicide without also talking about his mother's suicide, how great-grandma followed his tracks into the next life. She did it quietly as she was accustomed to, an eating disorder becoming a noose she had been hanging from for years because it couldn't quite snap her neck. Drew it out as long as she could, died a month before she could meet her first great-grandbaby, leaving only teddy bears and pictures to send me telegrams from the other side. You see, it's hard to talk about my uncle's suicide, his mother's death, my mother's depression, my siblings' self-harm, my thoughts of suicide, without talking about the one family heirloom we keep passing to one another, handing off a loaded gun to each other, playing roulette with our heartbeat. How if I died tonight, I fear I'd take 2 more with me, 2 bullets in the chamber. How I'd prune an already rotting family tree down to its roots if I do not lock this heirloom away in an attic and let it die so it can stop killing us. My great uncle was an artist. They say I am just like him. I have to be careful not to be.
Unmute yourself. Give some love to Kai Brackens.
That was incredible.
Beautiful.
Amazing.
Wow.
Woke us up
tonight.
Long time since we heard your voice, baby. Wow.
Kai Brackens, make sure you give her a follow. Kai, make sure you put your info into the chat, please. As I said in the beginning of the night, our poets, they tend to get vulnerable. They give a lot of themselves to you. So make sure that, Trigger warning, but it is what it is. This is real shit. I appreciate you so much, Kai. You see that Kai put her info in the bottom. Kai_loud fat mixed poet, a mainstay here on the Monday night online open mic. Make sure that you go and give her a follow. Whew, all right. We're going to keep it moving. Next coming up, we got my man Thomas Connor. Oh, shoot. Now, this is a man who'll kick your ass with poetry and can kick your ass in real life. I see my man got his setup there. Look at that. Look at that. Your chest is looking real broad at that angle, brother. It's good to see you. Let the folks know where they can find you online, and you got 3 minutes to rock, man.
Yes, no doubt. You can find me at Facebook, Thomas Connor, and TAC7371. So we're just going to get it going. This is an old one, but I'm going to spit it anyway. Daydreaming of a midday summer's afternoon, about you who makes me remember why I even wanted to know what a first kiss was. Our first tryst, love, made our souls dance and twist like the mist in the air that flutters across our faces, kind of like the wind hummingbirds' wings wake when they clasp together like lovers' fingers, clasping around each other's heads, locking together like Nefertiti's dreads, blowing in the wind like them kisses I blow against your inner thigh. You and I become one, singed, fused, meshed together by passion-driven heat. I'm so deeply addicted to your taste that even pain-riddled my tongue will ache to write our love story in complex hieroglyphics across your navel, while it braille reads your caramel-complected skin, Rosetta Stone. Translation, you are my forever lover, my forever and a day lover. So allow me to say these words to thee on bended knee. Excuse me, ma'am, can I borrow your left ear to whisper sweet nothings laced in infectious sexual undertones? Can I know what it is to taste the scent of your pheromones, intoxicating every part of my body down to the marrow inside my bones? Damn, baby. Maybe to you it's just normal to make a ghetto brother like me act formal, but I couldn't begin to find a way to break your hypnotic grip. Shit, I heard you could make a straight woman want to flip. Goddess of 1,000 universes, you could make a sinner speak angelic verses. The worst is I'm the one trapped in your love curses. So if you say so you think, or you say so it seems, I can definitely assure you that these were words for a queen. Peace.
Unmute yourselves. Give it up for my man Thomas Connor.
Dr. Connor, you went there.
Bro.
Thank you.
Oh, down from the underground on
That's
the
right.
rise. Let's
Do it,
go.
do it.
No doubt, sounds of the underground coming, baby.
Here I go talking about like how this man can kick your ass. And he says, here's my heart, everyone. Here is my heart, my tender heart. Thomas Connor, make sure you give him a follow. Thomas, put your info into the chat. Shout out to Jeremy Lissimo and Ed Foreman who's watching us on Facebook. I appreciate y'all a great deal. Also to everyone here on Zoom, if you want, you can change your name on Zoom to include your social media handles so the good people watching on Facebook and YouTube, whether they're watching us live or sometime in the future, they know how to find you, you know, because they're going to fall in love with your poetry. Just like with our next poet, Max C. I'm loving Max's hair, by the way. Max, your hair is always on point. Anyone who knows that, you know, follows the Monday night and when I host, man, I'm always looking at people's, that their facial hair, their beards, or their hair or whatnot. I love it. Max, oh, and Max already put their info right there on Zoom. You ahead of the game, Max. All right, the floor is yours. Eager to hear you.
So it's just a short one tonight. Joke after joke, prize after prize, the night continues as it has for years. A room full of people, stars in unreachable constellations. How beautiful it was to watch stars fall from the sky, jester juggling, blissfully unaware as the king stands from his throne to strike him down. Keep my wife's name out of your fucking mouth. And that's Oscars 2022.
You yourselves and give it up for Max.
That's that fresh.
Oh,
That fresh. All right now.
I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming. I knew someone was going to talk about Will Smith and someone. I love it. Make sure you give Max a follow at MaxyBoy_poetry. It is good to see you again, Max. All right, let's keep this night moving. Next up, we have Jax. Let me unmute Jax.
hello.
Oh, Jax. You look like you're dressed to party. I like that. The tie, the background. Now, if I'm not mistaken, Jax, this is your second time with us, correct?
This is, yes, yeah.
Yes, I remember. All right, let the folks know where they can find you online, and then you got 3 minutes to rock out.
Real quick, just want to say I love the facial hair. That wasn't there the last time, but you're rocking it real nice, like. Anyway, I'm Jax. You can find me at ESU Slam Society. That's where the poetry club here on campus kind of does our work. This is a poem that I wrote a really long time ago, actually, and it's kind of seeing the light again, and I did some work on it, so we'll see how it goes. So it's called 3 a.m. Now it's about 3 a.m. and I'm sitting on my bed because I got tired of laying down, but I'm not tired. I can't sleep because it's hard to sleep when you've got the world on your chest. But then I remember you were my world. So what's this weight that sucks the breath right out of my lungs, that takes the words right out of my mouth, that takes my stomach and ties it in knots, that leaves me gasping, my voice rasping while grasping for a crack, a step, something to hold on to, because I'm a ship on the sea being tossed by waves that are rolling 90 feet high with the threat of capsizing ever looming. It's 3 a.m. and I know I have class at 8 a.m. in the morning, and I wish that right now I was snoring, but there was no ignoring that I am awake but not alive, but I'm breathing and my heart is beating, so I must be alive. But as far as living, there seems to be something that I'm missing. Could it be a person, motive, inspiration, or could it be the desperation for a new declaration, for a new generation to end the separation between the body and mind, find peace by design till the sun stops to shine and I'm laid to rest knowing that I fulfilled the purpose of this life of mine? It's 3 a.m. and I am sitting because I got tired of laying down. Sleeping is for those with peace. And even if I can't get a piece of the pie, I will still partake in hopes that I can fall asleep for once and maybe feel better when I awake. It's 3 a.m. and my mind is racing, thoughts pacing the floors of my brain, images and arguments, dreams I stopped chasing for realism's sake. Thinking that I could make it as an artist is now a punch to my cerebellum, a harsh welcome, and reality's reception is nothing but the painting of hunger within my soul. It's 3 a.m. and I'm doing all I can to sleep. But it's hard to keep up with the idea that I am not enough. And it was all my fault, the pain of loss, and even as my consciousness fades while I am standing, I still cannot bring myself to lie down.
Ooh, unmute yourselves and give it up for Jax.
Wow. I can't bring myself on.
Outstanding.
Let's go, Jax.
RSVP.
Got to keep coming through. That was all the way dope, man.
Thank you, yeah.
Make sure that you go give Jax a follow, give the society a follow like he had put right there in his Zoom. Appreciate you, Jax. Jax looking fly with the tie. And Jax, I appreciate the beard. You know, I'm still trying to convince my girlfriend to allow me to keep it. You know, like, so there we go. Like, in my corner, you see that, baby? Jax likes it. You need to like it. Make sure you give Jax a follow, especially since he's helping me win an argument in my relationship. Thank you very much, Jax. Thank you very much. Real quick, I want to give a shout out to some people watching us on YouTube. I see Mary Burgos checking us out. Poetic is here. Marion Nicholas, I hope I'm saying your name right. And Francis Rivera, I appreciate y'all checking us out on YouTube. Thank you very much. All right, let's keep it going. And they got to hear Jax mention the beard. You see that, baby? Listen to Jax. We are now going to a man who doesn't have a beard, but it's all good because he got all the energy in the world and we love his energy here. And that is Gustav Salas, my man in Florida. Let the folks know where they can find you online. And you got 3 minutes to rock out.
Hey, everybody. I will put my IG in the chat after. I was able to get to George W. Bush's water bottle 45 minutes before he went on stage with enough LSD to make him tell the truth. This is this Mental State of the Union Address 2002. Shh. I have a secret I must share. This is my true personal nightmare. You see, I'm out golfing with 41. That's my pa. We're some father and son. Now the whole dream I won't belabor, but suddenly my drivers turned to a lightsaber and off came his head with a single whack, for I mistook Dad for Hussein of Iraq. The severed head in the 41 ball cap rolled across the green into a sand trap. I ran to it. What did I see? I was staring back at me. Now you can imagine my surprise at staring into my own eyes. when suddenly Yoda, who's my caddy, is standing with me and the me who's my daddy. Yoda shakes his head when R2-D2 beeps. My alarm goes off and I have the creeps. Damn, it's another boring day. I never listen to a thing people say. But who like Yoda is much wiser? My national security advisor. She's educated so very nice. She's Dr. Condoleezza Rice, and she'll explain my nightmare. But she spoke of Freud, and I nodded as if I was aware. Then she's off on archetype and some young guy, and I want to understand her, and I really try to get a simple answer for a simple me, one that's not uncontradictory, just something clear and not so highfalutin. But she's name-dropping Joseph Campbell and Vladimir Putin? With so much talk, there's so little grasping, but what she said next left me gasping. Abel was killed by an angry Cain. She blew my mind like I was Kurt Cobain. She said that this was about Poppy, me, and brother Jeb. She lured me with her story to the center of her web. I'm president, and Jeb's just Florida governor, but I've always had a feeling Daddy liked him more. I feel like to Dad I'm some dumb fuck here thanks to Jeb in Florida and sheer blind luck. She said that this war was not about deterrence, but something totally different she called transference. I hate Saddam like the father I cannot please, and my cognitive dissonance leads to y'all's unease. Thus y'all be fighting in Baghdad so as to make peace with my dad. They are very ugly, Hussein and Osama, but I'm not afraid. Have you seen my mama? She hurt me, dog. She took it so far. She compared me to Lucifer, the morning star. Sure, I'd rather rule in hell than serve in heaven, and I am taking advantage of 9/11. Okay, I'm the deceiver of the whole world. I'm the tempter. I'm the new Satan, known as the Saddam preemptor. And I'll not be cast alone into y'all's lake of fire, turning and turning in your widening gyre. I'm uncomfortable with all this maledictory. Condi calls this fear of Pyrrhic victory. Now, what's that? Still lost in the passionate intensity of sin, she explains to me that even if you win this battle, I might still lose my war. What the fuck would you be fighting for if I don't win re-election? I think of that and, well, there goes my erection. This worry almost makes war no fun. Will I get a second term when this war is won? Or will it end like for 41, the sins of the father revisited on the son? Pride cometh before the fall, so saddle up, lock and load. Next stop Baghdad, y'all. The whore of Babylon soon will crumble. Let's get ready to rumble. Thank you. Peace in Ukraine.
Oh my god.
I mean, yourselves give it up for Gustav.
That was great.
Damn,
That was awesome,
Gustav just
Gustav.
came to
That
break
was
it
amazing.
all down.
Snaps,
Hilarious.
snaps.
What the hate, Gustav?
I don't know how many people are in front of me.
Man, Gustav, I don't want to go back to that time when George Bush was president. I mean, back then my beard had no grays and I could go back to that. But I don't want to go back to no George Bush. Make sure you give Gustav a follow and then put his info into the chat. And of course, poets, after you perform, please check the chat. People are saying some very nice things about you in there. Also, I want to let y'all know I have been working on the intro video for the Monday Night Online Open Mic. I am adding so many faces because I know it's been the same for a long time. So make sure you're here next week for the 2-year anniversary. We're going to celebrate that, all these new gorgeous faces. Let's continue on, including one of the newer faces here, Mr. Lamar Mitchell. I believe this will be like Lamar's third time rocking out with us. You mute him, right? Third time. I remember, my man. Let the folks know where they can find you online, and then you got 3 minutes to rock out. Good to see you again, brother.
All right, yeah, good to see you too, man. So my Facebook is Khalifa Mitchell. I got a piece called Theory of Extreme Radical Kindness. I was raised in the bosom of Oakland, breastfed by a toxic almighty Zeus in the mold of Onan for a priceless moment. I ain't your typical street cat with 3 raps on how my niggas ride. I either self-immolate or clam up when shit intensifies. Closer to Ned Flanders and Carlton, the Mac Dre will kick the sneak. Nerdy little yellow boy with 10 on it for a lunatic masterpiece. Stack my riches until I'm living in the hills, slumming with the crackheads mansion. As Oakland inverts and class structures favor the black dread fathoms. In the deep east, where Eastern thought is smoking Buddha with a custom-made Uzi, where Stitches got Salman Rushdie novels, chatterboxing when silence is beauty. I wasn't statistically supposed to think like this, a fucking rebel, where I smashed eggs over the head of Farrakhan, the fucking devil. 5%ers put a battery in my back that's dead as Dillinger in the now. Still clogged in the robot's back, rusted, and I'm squawking like a loquacious owl. I didn't look up to the dealers or the killers. I looked up to Gary Larson. On the far side, Fat Lips, my spirit cousin, deviating from the nest is my only wary option. I wanted to be Steven Spielberg until Casamont kids cracked up in giggles at the Holocaust. I polyed with the sloths, not demonizing those in the gutter for not hauling ass and jostling off. My philosophy has always been, kill them with kindness, so I got bodies on my Glock, stacking hills of benign corpses, riding shoddy with the crops. Like a farmer's market truck full of vegetables and fruits, I'm a sapiosexual loop. Premeditated, the medical is juice, hyperchemical, hypoglycemic, male feminist, nexus 6, non-binary, bisexual per loop. I sling beats and cadences, making heteros regroup, getting vulnerable is a passion I love exercising. The demons in my cardboard box heart kneel to the goddesses I'm edifying. Backspinning in the notional outline of the desolated mind, it's like biting on the margins. The marginalized will have to be enshrined after rhyme. Oaktown is the embryo I broke out of the X-Sack with a jackhammer, perpendicular to Ghost Town, but far from Iraq, went Laurel District with a steady pattern. We heard gunshots nightly, froze club spot spicy. Everton Jones barbecued as competition. You wanted no smoke whistle, I punk rock kindly. How can one be so peaceful amid such a harsh winter of proletariat fought nuclear war, where it's trendy to be a fighter and idealist sunlight is just an eyesore. Dinosaurs rattled down International Boulevard, passing the tiny raptors, the violent baton. They say no more drama. Let's kill the foreigner as soon as she steps into white blood cell traffic, while varicose veins squeeze out vagrants as they panic on unshelved plastic. The cultural wars are raging. No woman or man or woman X is safe from. Queers are packing blades and guns with profanity on every saint's tongue. The snake slums recreated in the minds of the bowed chip skinned fake ones. The whole world is just a story told by the billionaire with the biggest dick. And town biz is a nucleus of farmland advancing the slippage ships. From the bowels of the South, blacks fled to the West Coast, and in the 70s was the birth of Superfly. Every maggot was macking its Thanatos. Dextrose mountains, but I lived in the sweet life fat lands ideologically, posited as a former Muslim cult survivor and perennial oddity. Been called a fag because I didn't lead my life along preconceived societal guidelines. Technically, I'm Einstein, master of the chessboard of both day and nighttime. Despite grinds parallel to my pathetic format, so asocial. I'm a square because I drive circles around the most noble in my local.
Lamar, we gotta wrap it up, man.
On that friction and okay. I knew that was gonna happen. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Peace.
Kill him with kindness and so there's bodies on my block. Give it up for Lamar, yo.
Yo, that cat said Einstein. Let's go. Big Daddy's bass shit. Let him know.
I didn't want to stop him. He had bars on bars on bars, but I gotta keep the time limit over. Go give this dude a follow. Shout out to Oakland. I did a tour in the Bay Area. Oakland left an impression on me. I felt like, it's its own thing, but I felt like it was like the Bronx of the West Coast. But I don't want to say that Oakland is, it's not its own. It is, man. But I really enjoyed my time out in Oakland. It's not what it is advertised as. Love Oakland, loved it. Make sure you go give Lamar Mitchell a follow. Ooh, kill him with kindness so there's bodies on my block. I wish I wrote that line. God damn. damn it, Lamar. All right. Let's keep it moving. We're going to now Lee Martinez Soto. Lee actually had received one of our poems of the week, and I am happy to see that Lee is back, not only because Lee got some fire hair, but Lee got some fire poems. Soto, let the people know where they can find you online, and then you got 3 minutes to rock. Good to see you again.
Thank you. You can find my social media on this side over here on my bottom screen. That's my Instagram, and then I'll go right into it because I know this one's long. This is called We Were Always Meant to Drown. You can find it on my first book. It's called Para los Locos, found on Amazon. Yarile, I have no words to share. They're holding onto my tongue and my throat is willing to swallow them whole. Yarile, can I call you by your name? I don't think I ever said it out loud, and yet you expect me to pour my guts out on your overused carpeted floor. Would you recoil from the stench of my insides? Because I would, Yarile. I'm embarrassed at the thought, ashamed of letting you see the inside of me to help me rearrange it and remove the bits and pieces that I don't need anymore. Would you think I'm ugly with my guts out on your floor? Because I would, Jalile, and all you could do is watch me from afar as I slowly unravel before you, hoping I won't taint you with the reek of me. Breathe, be present, be mindful, but all I am aware of is the world closing in on me, and I have to outrun it, I have to fight it, I have to survive it. What happens when I can't anymore, Jalile? Have you ever lost one of us to our own vulnerabilities, or have you watched us all escape into our own minds? Jalile, I have seen death from afar too, and it reeked of despair. I know the sunken feeling on your chest when I casually mention it as my acquaintance, the wince of your eyes, the pity for me. Jalile, death has grasped my family by a chain and has surely pulled each generation closer to his grasp. Jalile, could you also recoil when I tell you I think it is beautiful, poetic even, because this is the first time I wouldn't wince at something I have said or thought of saying, but not quite saying it because I can bring myself to do so, Jalile. Death is our heirloom, and it has picked us apart through the years. Lost limbs and off to the grave, pull the leash. Restrain, shotgun to your mouth, pull the leash. The fogs of the mind and the sweet promise of drowning in the depths. Pull and remember to pull and remember to pull, and we drown once again. Alcohol down your throat, pull again and again and again and again, and it seems we were born to drown one way or another. Blood down your ears, and I don't even know your name. Blood on the pavement, and I can't see why your mother loved the red on her lips. Pull, 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 no resistance, just pull. There is no use, just pull. Those who die of old age know already of its touch and expect it, and I hope to be prepared too, to not let it catch me by surprise, Jalile, because the fear of not knowing is greater than any other fear I have dared to utter to you when we close the door to your safety. Jalile, why can I mention this at all? Why can I take me seriously? Jalile, I too am drowning in words and thoughts and scenarios that rush through my head, and I fear I will drown in this vomit that never quite makes it outside of to your carpets, outside of my walls, outside of my head. Jalile, you won't harm me, but this worse will.
Ooh, unmute yourself. Give it up for Lee.
Yes, Lee, that was amazing.
Always powerful.
Very good.
Always
Good work, Lee.
Always.
Lee Martinez Soto, make sure that you give them a follow. Lee, also please put your name, your handle in the chat, because you know we are human beings. We're lazy. It's easy to copy and paste. Make sure you go give Lee a follow. Woo! All right. We've been having a lot of fun. I'll let the mic cool down a little bit. Some people have shown up late, so let me quickly get to this. This is the Monday Night Online Open Mic presented by the legendary New Eurekan Poets Cafe. We've been streaming every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific for 104 weeks in a row nonstop. We are streaming live on Facebook and YouTube. If you would like to join us from Facebook, if you're watching us live right now on Facebook or YouTube, and you would like to join us, the Zoom number is there on the screen, 279-995-364. Tonight, and also you can find me online. Of course, gotta promote myself. I'm on Instagram, Twitter, and the YouTubes at advocate of Wordz. When you spell words, that's with a Z because poetic license. Bronx, what? All right, let's keep it moving. All right, our open mic list is closed for tonight. Sign-ups begin 24 hours before the show on Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern. To sign up, you would visit nuyorican.org and click full events calendar. After you do that, you click on the Monday you were signing up for. So if you wanted to sign up for next Monday, you would do so on Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern. The open mic list is not open until 24 hours before the show. You would click on April 4th, and then after that, you have to get an artist RSVP ticket. It is the only way to sign up for the open mic list. You have to get an artist RSVP ticket, not the View RSVP ticket. Wednesday night, I am the new host of the Poetry Slams here at the Nuyorican Poets Cafe. It's a totally different crowd than when we have on Mondays and hybrids. There is some real talent that I am excited about. I'm going to try to get them to come to hybrid. Wednesday night, every Wednesday night, except for the first Wednesday nights of the month at 8 p.m. Eastern, you come. You perform, you get judged, the winner's given $20 and invited to one of our Friday night slams where they get to compete to be the Grand Slam champion of the Nuyorican Poets Cafe. It's really exciting. We are having a ton of fun here. I am loving it. I also want to let you know, starting April 5th, you will be able to submit up to 5 original poems. 5 poems that you have performed on the Monday or Thursday night online open mic. We are creating an anthology. It is going to be off the hook. I am so excited about what we got planned. All styles and languages are welcome to be submitted. The poems must have been read on the Monday or Thursday night online open mic on or prior to April 4th. So if you performed a poem tonight and you want to submit it on April 5th, you can begin submitting it. If you perform a poem at the 2-year anniversary and you'd like to submit it, you totally can. We also need to know what date the poem was performed. We want to put all of that into the book when we put it together. The Nuyorican Poets Cafe itself is going to be publishing it. I think it's going to be me and La Bruja who are going to be editing it. So much more information is going to be coming out this week. I am super excited about it. Also, I would like to let you know about the workshop we have going on here. Let's write a book of poems every Sunday from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern. We do it inside the cafe, and we do it through Zoom. It started back on March 13th. We've gotten 3 weeks in. We have been writing a lot. I have been learning a lot. I believe the poets who are joining us are learning a lot. It is growing. As you can see, it is $18 per class, or you can buy package deals. You could buy 4 classes for $60, which would make it $15 per class, or you could buy 8 classes for $96, which is $12 per class. All of that and more you can find on the social media of the Nuyorican Poets Cafe and on my social media, and you can find all that information on nuyorican.org. With that being said, yep, that's all I have to say. Let us get back to the poetry, and we are now going with my man Norm Mathematics, who's attended 2 of the classes and has been fire. This man has been fire. He has his book out. He's actually published 2 books, but I'm gonna let him let you know where you can find him online, and then we can get into his poetry. My man, it is a pleasure to see you as always, and I'm digging the hat, by the way.
Hey, it's great to be here on a Monday night with this crew right here. Thank you so much. I'm gonna put the find me deets in the chat later. The pursuit of love. Original love, first love, unconditional love. Thinking love needs no adjective less than magnificent. Looking for the unconditional is the contradiction. Love does not have any conditions. It is not in pursuit of anything outside of itself. Trying to mold love to pursue you and land where you want it just right. The category is boxed full of ribbons and bows, scented spaces, wafting memories that don't fit your heart these days. Conditions have changed. Love stays itself, like life. It is we that shrink wrap, return to sender because the love didn't fit. Next piece. This piece is called Breaking Down the Pedestal of Love's Sandcastle Architecture. The tide, a moat in motion, time limited to blueprints drawn on waterproof paper. Plans subject to sea changes, rip currents, undermine the sandy loam foundation. Hope at risk of sliding into the surf, lost at sea. Undercurrents undercut underground fiber optic images of designer dreams. Too many shadows in the light of dusk. Timing reality a hazard. A moat misfunction signals a fear assessment on high alert. An encoded message scrolls across chicken skin. Status quo keepers suggest you bring kindling to lay at the foot of unfinished bridges. And yet, you collect tinder for the chilled hearts in the castles of our hearts. Where dreams are created, the same place as where dreams are treated for smoke inhalation. Wake dream keepers to bring sage and EMTs to heal the wind and the bodies. Hire civil engineers to redesign the labyrinth paths to a peace of mind. Be gentle with lives never lived like this for the first time. No muscle memory to remember how to get home safe in a strange land. Peace.
Ooh, unmute yourselves and give it up for Norm Mathematics.
That was beautiful.
With the calculations on
Beautiful.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all.
Nice the
Amazing.
wordplay. Oh my goodness.
Thank you so much for that. Thank you.
Love it.
Thank you for sharing.
Norm Mathematics, make sure you give him a follow. Norm, make sure you jump in the chat. Let the good folks know where they can follow you and get your books. Make sure you give this dude a follow. He is everything and a bag of chips. Love this dude. Shout out to Lynette Serrano, who's checking us out on Facebook, and to Magdiel Reels and Dalmis Sanchez. I appreciate y'all checking us out in the community. Before we get to Liam Galway, I would like to bring our producer on, Mr. Ron Mark Thompson, so he can let the good folks know what he's got going on. He's got his hands in a bunch of cookie jars, including working with New York City Library and all of that stuff. And then, Ron, after you do that, if you can please introduce Mr. Liam Galway. Make sure y'all stick around. Liam is fire. Ron, go ahead. The floor is yours, my man.
Thank you very much. I am Ron Mark Thompson. When I don't produce online or hybrid events with Advocate at the New York Vegan Poets Cafe or the karaoke after party with Paul Concasso, you can find me at Ron Mark Thompson and my organization Bronx Art and Fun Up, BXAFH, as well as The Word is Right. I put both information in the chat. And I would love to promo, and I'm going to put that in the chat, at the New York Public Library, the Yorkville branch, 222 East 79th Street on the Upper East Side in Manhattan. This week on Wednesday, 2 days from tonight, I will be hosting an informal poetry writing workshop 2 days before the start of National Poetry Month. And then comes the real deal next week on Wednesday, April 6th. Your host here, Advocate of Wordz, he will host a poetry writing workshop at the Yorkville Library, April 6th at 6 p.m. And and that's it. I put all the information in the chat. So let's go on to Liam Galway. Let me ask to unmute Liam. Liam, are you there? Hello and welcome back to the Monday night online open mic. You know the deal. You have 30 seconds to introduce yourself to anyone who may not know you yet, and then go ahead with your 3-minute poem.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I was talking to one of my close friends a couple of days ago, and this poem that I wrote like 2 years ago popped in my head, and it's been there for a couple of days. So I just want to share this poem. It's a little old, but it's just been in my head for the past couple of days. Step 1. Telling yourself the truth you already know. My counselor asked me to speak my mind. He said, sometimes if you talk out loud to yourself, you'll reveal things that you otherwise wouldn't say. And I said, that is a terrible idea because I have so many run-on sentences. It's a disaster. He's like, please try. I'm like, okay, fine. I'll do it. Okay, fine. I'll do it. I'll try. Traveling down my memory lane is kind of like driving down the Autobahn. But the car you're in is an Autobot and a Decepticon at the same time in the same line of traffic, and the car radio is on, but the only song is static, and there's a drug addict in the back seat, but the seats ain't padded, and you're glad in this moment of havoc you ain't causing any panic to affect the traffic. Now you can laugh at the definition all you want, but I'll be in a McDonald's drive-thru with my mind on Neptune, and I'll drive through the venue and forget to pick up my damn food. It's annoying. Or I'll be in a lecture and not hear a damn word because I'm researching the migration pattern of northwestern birds because I was watching the BBC last night before bed and their fluttering feathers are still floating around in my head. I get ahead of myself. I can't stop. I start writing. I can't slow down. I get my pen locked and cocked like a wasp lost its toxic deposit in the ink stock, pen poised to inject the page with venom like an adrenaline shot, stomach and knot, sweat and pits. I'm restless. If I could just pause. Now, New York, at this point, I'm feeling really awkward and uncomfortable. So I tell my counselor, do I have to keep doing this? He's like, yes, please, keep doing it. I'm like, okay, fine. I don't know. Last night I saw a sunset standing on the sidewalk. I can't remember the song that was playing on my iPod. I wish someone was here with me right now because, my God, since I've been single, I'm so damn lonely. My mouth tastes like pennies. I'm tracking a package off Amazon. Really, I got nothing better to do. I don't even know what I ordered. I know I just like watching something that moves. My mind's out of order. I'm putting out borders. I'm hoarding up sticky tack glue. My anxiety has turned from mental to physical. I feel like I'm catching the flu. What do my parents expect me to do? Like yabba dabba do. I'm eating Flintstone vitamins for breakfast food in the mood of combining a can of Coke with a can of Mountain Dew and fucking vibrating, agitating, aggravating to anyone who listens to me. You don't write poetry. You write garbage. Your whole life is garbage. I want your parents to be ashamed that they raised you. Why do you keep buying Transformers toys? You're fucking 22 years old. I'm tired of Facebook asking me if I know my abuser. I'm afraid that I fall in love with red flags. The last time I fell in love, I almost died on impact. I'm afraid it's my fault. So sorry, I have lots of run-on sentences. Step 1, telling yourself the truth that you already know. Thank you.
Whoa, everyone go ahead and unmute yourself. Give a
Yo, don't miss. Don't miss.
Flow forever.
So good. So good.
Wow.
Make sure that you're here every Monday night, fam. That's how it goes. Dope.
That's right. Listen to Elemental. Yes, please come back. Whoa, what a deep and powerful piece. Liam, I'm so glad you're back with us here. I know you've been here before, and no, this is the right space, to grieve out, and let out, what you need to say. So thank you so much, Liam. Please put in the chat where we can follow you again, and please keep coming back. Great. All right, let's go on to the next performer. Eddie, I'm going to ask you to unmute and start your video. Here we go. Ed from Washington, D.C. I'm so glad. Now, yes, shameless promotion. Ed is a team member at my organization, Bronx Art and Fun Hub. He hosts a monthly open mic there, and he also volunteers at the Wordz, right? Ed, always glad to be here. Let's see what surprise ending you have. You know the drill. Introduce yourself to anyone who doesn't know you yet, and then go ahead with your 3-minute poetry.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here. Time to get my potastic mind in gear. All right, my name is Ed Potastic. Hope you feel fantastic. Please get time to control my rhyme for all feel sublime. This is called Passing Fancy. It was a hot summer. You was a radiant flower. I was a young gunner. You had this power. I was struck by thunder. We talked for hours and hours. You laughed at my blunders. The next day, the adventures towers. My depression just slumbers. Our day was sweet and never sour. We danced, our feet never shunter. The shadows always cower. You was my gazelle and I was the hunter. The days were more vibrant and hotter. The days were more vibrant and hotter. I felt stronger, better, and younger. My blackened attitude changed to flower. My aggressive worries buried under. I, the hero, you, my superpower. No umbrella of hope from the showers. Our days started to get packed and buffered. You started to give me number after number after number. My heart quickly clumber, dumper, and shudder. My carefree memories of us, I hunger. My days started to clutter, splinter, and shudder. I hope I didn't get dumber by being a sucker. My body feels like worn out rubber. My tears overflow like melted salty butter. What happened to you? My mind carelessly wonders. Thank you.
All right, everyone, please unmute yourself. Give it up for Ed.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
As always.
So,
Great.
Eddie, keep burning up the pages, man. Keep burning them up.
Emotions.
Amazing, amazing. And I wanted to say that for both Liam and Ed, it's not just what you read, but how you read it, how you performed it, how you added your own, persona and your powerful, voices. And Ed, like it's always amazing how you change your voice and how different your, what you read to us becomes. So thanks so much, both Liam and Ed, for being here. Put in the chat, Ed, where we can find you, where we can follow you. And I know you're always back on Monday evenings here. All right, while my boss and host is dealing with an issue upstairs at the New Rican Poets Cafe, allow me to go on to the next performer, which is, and I'll make sure that I pronounce it correctly, Aldaneri Torres. Did I get it right? I think I probably messed it up. Did I?
No, you got it correct. You got it correct.
I know you've been here before. An advocate always, make sure he pronounces everyone's names correctly. I'm not at his level yet. Please forgive me. But Aldanari, I'm so glad you're back with us here. You know the drill on Mondays. Go ahead and reintroduce yourself to those who may not yet have seen you here, and then go ahead with your 3-minute poetry.
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Aldaneri Torres. I'm in the South Bronx. And I'll put my where you can find me on IG in the chat. So this is a new piece, so trigger warning. It's something that I experienced, unfortunately. So a bit of Spanglish. So again, South Bronx, New Yorican, I am. So, okay. The title is On March 15, Esa Mujer Could Have Been Me. That's my title. I was leaving my college campus at 9:00 p.m. I was followed almost until I completed my destination. I was followed by a man that I'm unsure of who he was, of who he was, of what he wanted from me. I could have known him or not at all. It was way too dark. I could not see him at all. And even if I wanted to see him, I wouldn't have. I was in fear of looking back at him. Yo le doy las gracias a Dios that he did not hurt me. And yes, I'm from El Bronx. So if he took one step closer to me, I was prepared to fucking fight him. I was so damn prepared to yell fire, even if there wasn't an actual one. As I've written before, I am from a place called El Bronx. I was taught since I was a niña to yell and scream fire instead for help. Because in this place, that is the only way to be heard. And yes, I did try to report it. 2 police officers told me that if there was no actual assault, then you're not going to be heard. Let me remind you, I am from this place called El Bronx. I am in constant fear because I am a woman. I hope and I pray that one day women will no longer be marginalized and oppressed in this society that yet fails to practice inclusion. It is unfortunate and sad to say that one day I will have to teach my children to survive and thrive their way through El Bronx. I am from a place that if an assault, if you survive an assault is when the media may actually give a fuck. We will survive. That's my piece. A little bit slurred. Sorry, guys. I was a little bit nervous. Thank you.
Unmute yourselves and give it up out there. What?
So moving. Welcome. Make sure you come back. Definitely need
Thank you for that.
Always appreciate you. Appreciate you.
Aldenary, who is not a stranger. I think this is like her fourth time rocking with us. I appreciate you sharing that with us. I'm sorry you have gone through that. I myself am from the Bronx. I know how that is. So I'm wishing you a great deal of strength and peace, sis. Thank you so much. And it's all right. Like, I know you're saying you the slurs and the nerves, but it actually added to the performance. It made it authentic. I'm sorry that I had to step away. I know the music's going now. There was a little kerfuffle upstairs I had to go and take a look at. But we got to keep it moving. And we should have had Kawana James, who's our next poet here in the Bronx. She would shut everything down. Miss Attitude, let the people know where they can find you online. And it's your turn to rock, sis.
It's a pleasure to be back. It's been a minute since I've been here. I'm also from the Bronx, so I just want to put that out there. I have two very short poems. You can find me on Facebook under Kawana James, AKA Miss Attitude. I have two short pieces for you. One is on topic, and that's the first one. It's called Don't Blink. What can you believe? Everyone seems to have a fucking trick up their sleeve. Does it make any difference? None of it makes sense. Relationships, damned if you do, damned if you don't. I'm telling you, I'd rather be single, mingle with some friends, get the benefits, and keep it moving in my own direction. Trying to fix my GPS to follow you for the rest of my days. When you don't know if you can trust me, you can't. The first one. And the second one is called, this is the poem I wrote about a week ago, just because I don't know why, I just did. It's called Death from a Thousand Cuts. Hits you in your gut where you are raw. It's your underbelly, soft like jelly, and it hurts. But they're only words, and words can hurt, make you feel like dirt or worse. Keep letting them talk to you in that way, that passive aggressive manner full of aggression, and you listen. Decide it's not the situation you want or deserve. I'm like you. I have some nerve to think, have the audacity to believe I can do better, but not worse. That's how I think, me first. And I don't apologize for looking into my own eyes and loving what I see. Peace, Miss Attitude.
Unmute yourselves and give it up for Miss Attitude, y'all.
Miss Attitude, you better tell him.
Oh, the attitude. The attitude's here.
Thank you.
I love this woman's attitude. I love her poetry. Yo, I love it. Kawana James, better known around these parts as Miss Attitude. We love all of it. I am here for all of it. Real quick, I want to also shout out Ron Mark Thompson. Brother, thank you for jumping in. I threw him into the fire pit as I had to go upstairs and take care of some things. Also, shout out to Liam. That dude is a beast. And of course, one of our mainstay members here, Mr. Ed Foreman. I love that dude. All right, let's keep it moving. Next coming up, we got Tukaya Kyla Garcia. Wait, where is she? Where is she? Oh, there she is. She just unmuted herself. Tukaya, who also received a poem of the week. I think she was number 2. She was our second one. Sis, it's good to see you as always. Let the good folks know where they can follow you online, and then we ready for your fire.
Hola, familia. You can find me at Kylark on Instagram and kylagarcia.com. For those of you I haven't had the gift of meeting yet, my name is Kyla Tukaya Garcia, and I am on unceded Tongva land, aka Los Angeles. I just wrote this, so it's some new shit. Not even edited. Also, I feel really grateful for going after Kawana. You are a warrior. Yeah, I feel like there is just utter fire and fearlessness in you. I think we all need to have an inner Kawana standing up for our spirits. So thank you for that fire medicine. This is called Shadow Monster. It grows the more you feed it. And we all have one. Let me repeat it. We all have one. We all have one. We all have one. Even though, even low, the star of the show is love. That's the only reality. Let me repeat it. The only reality is love. The only truth is love. The only way is love. But that shadow monster is convincing. Grows so tall, got my insides wincing, sneaks up behind you in the middle of the forest, snapping branches to the soundtrack of a frog chorus, breaking the cushion of that leaf-dappled floor, a rustling that makes you feel like you will die if you face it. Like you will die if you face it. Or just before you go to bed, when every thought you've tried to run from stares you down. Imposter clown, who do you think you are to feel love? To be love? After all your mistakes, after all that you take, I want to give more than I take. Let me repeat it. You can choose to give more than you take. Shadows, a perpetual illusion that don't truly exist. Darkness that falls away the second you turn on the light. A monster dissolved, not by brute force or violent words, swords, swift kicks, or right hooks. Flip a switch and you will find an entirely different truth. Every time. Turn on love and hate becomes the lie it always was. I don't know how to tell you that when mine rears its ugly head, I run out of reasons to love myself. I don't know if you'd believe me when I tell you that when I break a promise to myself or hurt someone else, lash out and let the monster kidnap my tongue, sometimes it takes me days to recover from my own shame. Just imagine if everyone knew my name. Global spotlight, get it right. You're always smiling. You overcome everything. You don't get to give in. You don't get to have a breaking point. You don't get to have a shadow. You're casting light for all of us to keep our shadows away. We are all trying to overcome the monsters with each passing day. The world is gray. Let me repeat. The world is gray. The balance sways, the child of yin and yang, eternal shades. Be gentle. Be quiet for a while. Put down the stones and face your own. I don't know how to tell you that when wolves correct each other, it is physical, not personal, not violent, but a smooth reminder to act right. I wish I could do that to myself. I wish we could learn from wolves that shadows aren't big and bad, but lessons we are all moving through. Caterpillars stuck in cocoons. If your deepest moments of shame get played and played again, how do you bloom? I replay my own in my mind, and my God, it's a wonder I make it out alive. I don't know how to tell you that we're all trying desperately to stay alive, fighting inner wars while the world is breaking into three. My sweet mirror soul friends, can't you see we all have one? You are so much more than your worst moment. If you sit with your shadows long enough and stop pulling at the thread that unravels your spirit, you'll never bite another human being. I don't know how to tell you that the sooner you forgive yourself, the sooner we will know peace. That if all you did today was nourish this stage of the chrysalis, it was enough. You are enough. On the most important day of their lives, babies complete one task. They open their eyes. And if we're lucky, they scream. Have you ever witnessed one be born? I have. And my eyes were the first hers had ever seen. Precious angel queen, no awareness of a shadow. An alchemist lives in my throat. Language animates shadows, but it can also dissipate them. Language, the switch we use to turn the light back on. Once upon a time, I saw a wolf hold a baby in its mouth and place her gently on the forest floor. We all have teeth, but we're so much more.
Ooh, unmute yourselves and give it up for Tukaya.
Gift.
Oh,
Yeah, that was
Thank you so
beautiful.
much.
So much more.
that was
But we're so much
incredible.
more.
Wow.
My God.
All needed to hear that. Thank you.
Love it.
Tukaya always brings it. Make sure you give her a follow. Tukaya Garcia, not only a fantastic writer and a fantastic advocate, but also a fantastic actress. If you want to know more about her, make sure that you go give her a follow. Tukaya, sis, I'm so happy you're part of this community. I hope all is well with you. It's always a blessing to see you. And I'm loving the beanie too. I'm loving the beanie as well. I'm loving it. All right. Let's keep this moving. Next coming up is one of the newest mainstays. That's it. It's like the third time he's rocking out. We got in his blood. He's caught the addiction. It is Ivan Velez. Ivan, let the good folks know where they can find you online.
Thank you so
and then
much.
we're ready for your fire.
Thank you so much. I'm at Iveless Art on IG, and I'll just get on to it. But basically, a lot of us just saw last night's slap. Anyway, so this is in relation to that. There's a price to pay for fame, but there's so much a man can take. How long can he ride the high road? Will Smith had to draw the line though. Was his soul part of this sideshow? Turns out that joke wasn't part of Rock's opening lines roast. So you see, he had to eat one. Be careful what you ask for. You may get that bitch slap. Knowing hair is a woman's sacred domain, off limits to ridicule and shame. Let me clarify, Will Smith had been emasculated by his wife's thoughtless public display of fuckery. He had to do it for himself to reclaim his mental equanimity. Chris Rock has not been original for a minute and took advantage of Jada's reluctant dome, making it a target of insensitivity. His tired ass act, that rat-tat-tat rivet-like style he's got. Will Smith drew on his testicular fortitude, and the moment that he smacked Rock back to a retrospective of his life, flashing before his eyes, realizing that his career was a lie. But even more, when he put some bass in his voice, keep that my wife's name out of your fucking mouth. Keep my wife's name out of your fucking mouth. Begs the irony, too late to make that choice. Conversely, Chris Rock's own set shrunk and crawled back inside from the thunderous shock, sent his spine in reverse, making an exclaimed truth. Will slap the shit out of me. Will Smith's slap was a statement memorialized to reclaim his re-engagement as a man. Thank you.
Unmute yourselves and give some love to Ivan, y'all.
Let's go,
Yeah.
Ivan. Let's go. Bring the heat.
Very relevant.
Go.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Ivan Velez, make sure you give him a follow. One of the new mainstay members of the Monday Night Online Open Mic. Appreciate you, Ivan. Thank you very much. Over there in New Jersey, he better make his way over to the cafe. Looking forward to seeing him. Next coming up is Contessa Brown. And I think this is Contessa, right? Right? She's smiling. Yes, Contessa. How are you? This is your first time on the Monday Night Online Open Mic. Am I correct?
It is so correct, and I'm so excited.
Where are you located, if I may ask? We don't want your exact address, right? We're not coming to your home, but like, what's the county or borough or city, state, where are you at?
I'm coming from Little Rhodey, Providence, Rhode Island, but I do have family in Jersey City.
Oh,
That's
shoot,
close
Rhode
enough.
Island. I don't know. You know, Rhode Island, it got a poetry scene out there I'm aware of, but I think you may be the first person from Rhode Island on the Monday Night Online Open Mic. I'm not exactly sure, but I think you may be. So no pressure, just a lot of people looking at you. You're just representing Rhode Island and all that good stuff. So I'm loving it. I'm loving it. So I see in your name, you've got your social media handle, but of course you can say it audibly, and then you got 3 minutes to rock out. I've also got to ask you, where have you been? We've been doing this for 104 weeks. Where have you been?
I just typed in, like, you know, online open mics. This came up, and this is one of the places I've been trying to get to physically for a while. So this worked out awesome. So my handle.
Oh, wait, you muted yourself. You muted yourself. Hold on, let me unmute you. Hold on. The last thing we heard was that you looked us up online open mics, and you've been trying to get here for a while, and then you went to tell us your social media handle, but then you got muted. So go ahead. So let us know your social media handle, and then the floor is yours. We eagerly await your poetry.
Thank you. My name is in there as Countess B Influencer. I'm not new to spoken word. I've actually hosted spoken word poetry for the past 12 years under Cafe Soul. So if y'all ready to come to Rhode Island and show what you got, definitely holla. This piece is a brand new piece. It's actually untitled. That's how brand new piece of it is. And I'm just going to get right into it because I only have 3 minutes now. I rise. See, I'm hurting but not broken, down but I won't die. I rise, soon I will reach the sky, and still I rise. Ever since I was a little girl, I always had this attraction to palm trees. It was the way the leaves would dance in the breeze, and the palm leaves always graced in endless possibilities. The way they command attention and stand tall with their emerald crowns. Little did I know that this queen before thee would be likened to those trees. Going through different storms along the seas, starting at the age of 13, when the foundation I had come to know had split apart. Bloom where you are planted, even if the soil is slanted, going from Three's Company to just the two of us like Billy Withers, mommy and me, navigating through the different grounds we temporarily called home, forces us through the lives and thrusts us to lean back and bend but not break. Still getting rooted, a piece of me was uprooted when grandma passed. Always wondered about the reflections of her that I see staring back at me, pieces of her woven in my identity, where mama always says, see, we come from strong stock. So it's no wonder, like Angelo, why my arch, it won't crack, and the reach of my arms extends, stretching for the promises in the wind, the false promises of those who had pretend to love me. Church hurt became a part of my history, misguided, divided, and mishandled. Males who use labels such as Christian to enforce their narcissistic toxicity, and trying to bury what they hadn't known was seed, but see these branches embrace those who did not deserve my covering, my shade, my protection, my love. I need the heat of compassion to grow and survive. Bloom where you are planted, even if the soil is slanted, uprooting myself as I dance in the sun rays, towering above with a higher perspective. I am carrying my ancestors' stories and dreams. For my liberties, they were whipped, beaten, and choked. Can't breathe. I can't break. I must migrate until my souls feel hugged. A retreat to the sun as it welcomes me home while entering a holistic arena academically. Purpose for futile ground, healing found me. Reviving these wizard palm-like hands and heart, harnessing my inner planted seed of resiliency, strengthened. Bloom where you were planted, even if the soil is slanted. Release the cover and love again. The one who's always been navigating the ebbs and flow of my ocean, my forever summer love. Release to live freely and authentically, because like Jeremiah 17:8, I am planted by the everlasting waters where I am deeply rooted along these streams, no longer fearing the heat when it comes my way, because my palm trees and my leaves are ever so green, never ceasing to produce any fruit, nor feeling any type of drought. Now I look back and I can see my resiliency, and that, yes, I I rise. See, I'm hurting but not broken. Down, but I won't die. I rise. I rise. Soon I will reach the sky, and still I rise. Thank you.
Ooh, rise to the occasion
Right
and give it up
on.
for Countess.
Oh
yeah.
Countess, you just because now you got to be here every Monday night. Damn.
Amazing.
Sorry. All right.
You heard it, my man Elemental told you, you dumb messed up, because you're going to have to be here every Monday night. And if you think, well, no, I don't have to, we know where to find you. You gave us your social media handle. That's why we ask right up front. Countess representing Rhode Island, and more importantly, representing herself. That was fantastic, Countess. Thank you so much for signing up. I hope you stick around and enjoy the rest of the night, and you stick around with this community and rock out with us. And whenever you in New York City, you are more than welcome to come to the Nuyorican Poets Cafe. Thank you very much, sis. Ooh, I love me some new poets, or at least poets that we haven't heard in these parts, right? Because like Countess says, she's been doing it for 12 years, so she's been rocking out for a while, but it's just new to us in these parts. And this next poet, I believe, is also new to these parts of town, and that is Hario Tazawa. If I am butchering your name, please let me know. Let me know if I messed it up. Did I pronounce it right?
No, yeah, you actually got it on the first try. Ario like Mario, Tazawa like Tazawa. So like, got it. You know, I appreciate it.
Awesome. It's everyone knows it's really important to have people's names pronounced correctly, you know, so like I'm big on that. If I mess it up, I want people to correct me, but I'm glad I got it right. All right, Hario, let me know, where are you located?
Oh, okay. So I am located in the barren wastelands of New Jersey. You can find me under like a dilapidated diner that only plays Bon Jovi and doesn't believe that your pizza's better, and it's not, but we're not going to get into that because I want to come back. So that's true, but we're not going to get into it. I'm going to start twitching. You can find me online at Hario Tazawa on the Twitters, on the Instagram crackers, and in person when it's sunny, you'll find me at a park somewhere with an old typewriter doing Insta poetry for people that are passing by when it's raining, pretentiously at cafes because I like attention and I wasn't hugged enough, I guess. And also you can find me every Thursday, every Wednesday, and now every Monday at this little, small spot called the Nuyorican Cafe, either listening or entertaining you, because that is all I base my self-worth on. So yeah, I'm gonna read y'all a poem. I'm actually more so a prose guy, so specifically sci-fi fantasy. So every one of my poems is gonna have fantasy crap in it. I apologize if that's not your thing. Some of the people in the room I see have already heard this one when it was incomplete. It's about a certain little mythical creature. So for this poem to work, I'm gonna need everyone to do two things for me. One, I need you to pretend that elves are real. And two, I need you all to pretend that this poem is actually about elves. Okay? All right. So this is called Palimpsest People. When you ask what I am, I make it easy and just say I'm an elf. Then you expound on your love for woodworking and that Christmas is your favorite holiday, and how your best friend's third uncle, twice removed, once dated an elf back in the day and said, "We're good people." I would tell you who we really are, but the syllables would hit harsh on your eardrums like the thunderous crash of foreign ships on unsuspecting shores. I'm sorry, I know curiosity should not warrant aggression, but cultural identity is a touchy topic for an elf. You see, my pride permeates my body so deep, it pulses through my veins with a rhythm I can dance to even when I hear no music. And my chest swells because my father whittles wood like Arachne spins silk, and my mother sings serene like the selkies of the sea, and I can craft confectionaries like lip-puckering gumdrops and gingerbread houses that could tremble jaws just as well as any dwarf can craft a weapon of war. I'm just angry because I'm exhausted. I'm tired of seeing traditional carols being adapted into products of profit by people who have never even seen the Aurora Borealis. I'm tired of our men assumed to be small and weak, our women fetishized. I hate that the world knows our crimson saint is Santa, and it pains me because he isn't even ours. He's not even an elf. He is a facsimile deity in the image of a despot people who convinced us that our bodies are not worth a worship. And now that I'm thinking about it, even our language, something so idiosyncratic and contextually loaded that it could only belong to us, doesn't. I'll never forgive the past for killing the future, where others would have remarked on the beauty of the words weaved by our lips, rather than scoff at how jarring someone else's clashes against our teeth. I weep because who we are now would be foreign to who we once were. Elves is the appellation branded over our identity by rapacious conquerors who use their sharpened steel and blind faith to silence our voices from the historical conversation and exsanguinate our magic from the veins of the world. Simply, we are a palimpsest people, our fibers crumpled and stretched and mottled and ripped asunder from the relentless erasure marks, clearing way for revisions. We used to have something that was just ours, our own language, our own gods. We once wielded a magic that could bloom roses in winter and draw breaths from the dead. We worshiped trickster gods who lulled the restless sun asleep and serenaded the moon and stars until their love illuminated the ever darkened sky. We used to be something else. We used to be a final draft. We used to be, I don't know, we had a name, but the palimpsest was wiped clean, then overwritten. So when you ask what I am, I get angry because all I can say is an elf. Thank you.
Woo! Give it up for Hario, yo.
Let's go. Spit that elf shit. Let's go. Spit that elf shit.
That's right.
Hario, make sure you give him a follow. Hario, put your info into the chat so the people can know where to hound you so that you can return to the Monday night online open mic. We love your taste in writing. Your taste in pizza is questionable, but that is okay because we are here for the poetry and your writing. Also, I am big on sci-fi myself. Harlan Ellison, I scream that name all day, every day. Harlan Ellison. But we here to rock out with Hario. Make sure you go give that dude a follow. All right, let's keep it moving. Next coming up is Andy Meerkat. Or I was about to say Meerkat. Andy Markert. I'm sorry to also Mr. Markert, who I know who checks this out. Andy, it's good to see you, brother. Let the folks know where they can find you online, and then we ready for your fire, man.
I have been here, like literally almost every Monday for 2 years. You'd think you'd know how to pronounce my name by now, but I love you so much. You wonder why I left you out of that party one time that you've never forgiven me for. Anyway, hi, my loves. How are you? I don't have much with surprise endings, but I figure tonight we'll just revisit an old faithful favorite called Fine, Fuck It. I'm finally ready to tell the truth about that one July. It was so hot we melted into who we really were after Hanif Willis Abdurraqib. It was this summer, the wind didn't blow, where the heat became the hands of an oppressor, gently unspooling bodies into sweet sweat waterfall. It is the summer I learned I love the smell of you. No breeze to break the endless oven of Brooklyn heat, radiating off of pavement, hot enough to fry the eggs both of us refuse to get up and make. I tell myself I'm not hungry when I am always hungry. It is the July I woke to feel you naked in my arms, awake above the sheets, our bare bodies hiding no secrets except for who we are. And it's hard to tell if my arms are home or bear trap. Maybe we are both so used to standing still as a way to escape the predators, we do it to each other, a game of trauma chicken, forcing one of us to become the monster we'd rather be fucking. I always play the monster these days. I wonder if I'm beginning to develop a taste for it. I am a very good actor, I whisper in my mind. I lean in and whisper a joke in your ear, brushing red hair away with a hand. That's funny, you whisper. As your body moves with amusement but does not smile, I can feel when your body smiles. It is the first time in all the years we've chased one another, all the way to this moment, that a space between us exists. Isn't it funny that all it takes is heat plus stillness to dissolve the bodies into the water and oil they've always been? I swear those are tears in your eyes when you kiss me. Suddenly, I don't recognize the flavor of your tongue. You loved me, right? You ask. Like the stars love the night sky, I smile. That wasn't the question. Thank you.
Ooh, unmute yourselves and give some love to Andy Marquardt.
Yeah. Love you, Peaches.
Andy, that was wonderful.
Powerful piece.
Powerful shit.
They is the sweetest. That dude's
Fire,
always
fire,
fire.
fire. Thank you.
Andy Marquardt, Andy Meerkat, Andy Marquette, whatever you want to call him in poetry, is fire. Love having this brother be part of the community. Andy, thank you so much. Make sure that you go and give this dude a follow, a mainstay here on the Monday night online open mic, and only because he calls us hi babies, or because he's so sweet and nice to us, who I have forgiven him for having a party without me. I forgive him. And then just up and leaving the state. So like, I haven't even gotten to see this dude in person. One day soon, he's due for a trip to the Nuyorican Poets Cafe. Give him a follow. Andy Meerkat. Appreciate you, brother. Shout out to Mr. Marquardt, his dad, who occasionally checks in. I hope all is well with you. We appreciate the way you raised your son. He is fantastic. All right, let's keep it moving. Nico was supposed to be here. I don't know where Nico is, so we're going to keep it moving, and we're going to go to the only man I know who can rock a mullet, and that is the Honey Trap, the host of the Nuyorican Poets Cafe first and only karaoke night, Mr. Paul Gongeso. Paul, let the good folks know where they can find you online, and then it's your turn to rock out, man. Good to see you.
Thank you, brother. Honestly, would not be the host of the karaoke after party if not for you, and you're nudging me begrudgingly into it. So big ups to you. April 9th, following the hybrid show. Come for the hybrid show first. That's from 7 to 9. And then stay for the after party, 9:30 and beyond. Who knows when it'll end, because the last one, it ain't end when it was supposed to, but when is the after party really supposed to end? All right, Storm God's in the motherfucking building. Men Who Heal, sound from the underground. This piece is called Beliefs. There are few things I'm a devout believer in. Like nonviolence whenever possible. I'm a believer in karma, universal law of reciprocity. I believe Kanye's College Dropouts unequivocally. The single greatest album there has ever been, will ever be. That The Office Season 4 is the absolute bar for a great sitcom. And honestly, Friends really ain't even that well written. It's a crime because Living Single came out a year prior with the same concept and yet gets like 1% of the praise. That is to say, stop gatekeeping black and brown people in the midst of life or death diasporas. Like, don't deny Africans or Mexicans access to borders. Throw kids in camps akin to concentration, then welcome in Eastern Europeans without batting an eye. So long as they pass the paper bag test. I am of the mind we all deserve the same chance at empathy. Like, I believe gender and sexuality, much like race, exist on a spectrum socially constructed as whiteness is. The same way Italians, Irish, and Armenians were once considered minorities, in the next century were held alongside cultural hegemony. When, just like how people can't be illegal nor alien, no one can truly be white. We ain't talking poultry. I mean, we're all human beings, not chicken wings, even though drums are best. But if you love flats, that's not to say we can't coexist, as Blue does ranch, Callets to celery. There's room for every creed. I believe consent to be essential in each and every arena, whether seated in some virtual audience, made into object of lust without signing off on script, or in context of kids touched by those they trust most. Men told point blank their violation wasn't real or as harrowing. I say fuck that shit. Boys deserve consent too. The this burden of proof somehow placed on survivors. So let's lift that weight by raising bars of bias based on gender or shade. It enraged me to learn Black and Latinx women get believed less often than white counterparts, thus underreport incidents. It's a sad fact the indigenous experience more sexual assaults than any other group in America. And I'm sure you won't want to believe genderqueer students are at higher risk than college-age kids on campuses. What more will it take to include our MB and trans in discussions around agency over their bodies, rights, and identities? I soundly believe if we're to get anywhere, we should let women lead, having seen them be the most decisive, strongest of us in praise of the labia for how it tears and heals in equal measure, how their bodies can nurture, grow, self-diagnose, and repair, and how without our trans and two-spirit communities, we'd all be lacking duality and strength to challenge chauvinism's phallical fallacies. I believe machismo, ego, and a colonized mindset are a trinity of Death Eaters. That is to say, they're all symptoms onset by patriarchy, which can only be cured by our loving them out ourselves by practicing our most divine masculine balanced with healed feminine energy. At this red table talking on whether this tryst of disrespect is worth my getting entangled in. But let me be perfectly clear. If you ever, and I mean ever, come out your face with disrespect for me, my partner, or my family, I will Will Smith slap the taste out your face with such power it creates a vacuum of time and space, Chris rocking you to sleep. Palms across face like Independence Day when aliens were welcome to Earth. Sent this asteroid spiraling. That ain't everybody loves Chris. He a comic clown. Rubbed the lamp, but Genie said he can't bring anyone back from the dead, so I guess he's just an underground comedian now. I am legend fool. Well, 7 pounds you, we bad boys too, so what you gonna do? What you gonna do? Parents just don't understand sometimes in summertime you have to show stars who's the man through open palm, which can either be an offering or a hand grenade. And no sex in the champagne room, but you might just watch a man New Jack City himself into Pootie Tang, Tippy Tow, Tippy Tay, method acting in his best Ali Boumaye impression because the champ is here, and he set it off lest you forget Will is mad Philly. In West Philadelphia, born and raised on a playground is where I spend most of my days. After Fresh Prince done, open credits swung on him. Now, this is a story all about how Chris Rock got flipped turned upside down. That is to say, people get smacked every day, B. It's not unusual. Like Carlton doing the Tom Jones dance and hitting the Tonto jump on it, while Denzel and Sam L egg him on with, you got knocked the fuck out, man. Just for me to buy Felicia right back to my seat, collecting fallen apologies from out your mouth as if knocked out teeth before being summoned to that podium, accepting Rose's throne for my craft amidst this hot ass mess. With that, I just wave, smile, and leave. No drawn out speech. I bow, thank the Academy, and exit stage left, because when words invoke the same violence, this misogynistic, machismo dripping descendant of pigs, big colonizer energy, y'all all pretend to denounce until around some friends. I guess it's only when celebrities are scuffling. You seem to care about defense of the defenseless. Well, fuck it. We'll do it live then. I'm gonna get this to trend and go viral when I knock y'all senseless. Now tell me, what do you believe the Five Fingers had to say when they made their introduction to the face?
Unmute yourself and give it up for Paul Conqueso.
Oh my God. It was amazing.
Paul Conqueso, give him a follow at Paul Conqueso. When you spell queso, that's not with a K, it is a Q-U. Give him a follow. And now you see why he is leading the karaoke here at the Nuyorican Poets Cafe. He is a mainstay here at the Monday Night Online Open Mic. We love having him part of the community, and I am happy that he is hosting here at the cafe. Go get your singing on after the hybrid on April 9th hangout with Mr. Paul Conqueso, the Honey Trap. All right, let's keep it moving. Oh, before we keep moving, I want to make sure that I give some shouts to some people who are not on the open mic list but are here giving love, like Deadpan Lizzie, the Beanie Guy. Appreciate you, sis. Diane Ward. Diane Ward is here. I gotta get closer to the camera to get a better look at Diane Ward here on Zoom. I love me some Diane Ward. Shout out to Diane. Also to Tara. Last week, Tara shared their first poem with us. Thank you, Tara. Don't make that a one-time thing. We want to hear more from you. Claudia is here. You can follow her at cap.writes. She is also part of the Let's Write a Book of Poems workshop. She has been fire of late. I hope she's enjoying herself. I think so. She keeps coming every week, so I hope so. Apartment 710 is here. I don't know where she went. Her apartment's empty. We should have had our open mic in her apartment. We keep saying we're gonna host. Oh, there she's back. She's back. All right, we're gonna make sure we're gonna host the open mic one time in our apartment. Our brother out in Japan, Poetak, is here. My man, we are known in Japan on the FM stations because of this, man. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you very much. I also saw Ray Jane step in here. Shout out to Ray Jane, aka Thunderlung. I see Brooklyn in the building. Oh, Ray Jane. Representing Syracuse, I got to rock out at school with Ray Jane last week. She is fire. I love that woman. Also, Brooklyn in the building. Marsha Rivera here. I got to put my hat down to say what's up to her. I appreciate you, Ms. Rivera. And of course, you know, I love me my hats. And that's why I love me some Mariah. Mariah always got the fresh hats. How are you, Mariah? Thank you for checking us out. Catman Bill is checking us out as well. He's a mainstay usually with the Thursday night online open mic. On Thursdays at 9 p.m. Eastern, La Bruja hosts the online open mic. You could do singing, music, comedy, and poetry. You could do whatever you want over there. Make sure you check it out. Mr. Speaker is here, the general. It's my man. I love that dude. When we go to war, it's gonna be him leading us. Tara Lee is here. She got the most gangster name, but she's the sweetest person in our community. I love her. Mr. Tessa Somok, we are all that much smarter because he's part of the community and his TED Talks. We appreciate you, brother. Oh, I see him there. What's up, brother? We've also got DG Clearing checking us out. Another mainstay here at the Monday Night Online Open Mic. I cannot remember a Monday Night Online Open Mic without DG Clearing here. I think I've named everyone who's not on the open mic list. There's still some other. Oh, Doug Silver. Doug Silver is here week in and week out, even when he's performing or not. Doug, it's good to see you, brother. I found out that that when you used to teach that your kids called you Professor Platinum. Was that true? You had told someone that? Yep. A little birdie told me about that. Oh, shoot. Doug Silver, a mainstay here at the Monday Night Online Open Mic. And the only names I haven't called yet are those who are about to rock out in the remaining of our open mic list, I believe. Yes, I want to make sure that I didn't miss anyone. I don't believe. Oh, yeah. No, of course. I had mentioned her before, but of course I can mention her again. My girlfriend, Mariela Salazar, who is staying up late. Even though she's got an important interview tomorrow, I'm not going to put out any of her business. We are wishing her well, send her good vibes and energy. She should not be listening to your fantastic poetry right now. She should be sleeping and getting rest for her interview. Make sure you get in the chat and viciously tell her to go to sleep, and also send her good vibes for her interview tomorrow. With that being said, I think now I've covered everyone who's not about to perform, and now we can give it going. And we going out to Philly with Terry Rose Jerkson. Let me unmute Terry. Terry, let the good folks know where they can find you, and then the floor is yours.
You can find me in New Jersey, not Philly, because I'm not at the Phillies game, but I will be. I will be at the next Phillies game, and hopefully it'll be on a Monday night when I'm there, so I can be totally distracted when I'm trying to read my poetry. Okay. I picked a poem to read tonight that Tukaya kind of already covered, but this is my version of almost the same kind of thing. It's called Shadow Waits. I feed my shadow drawings and poems. Shadow gets hungry. It needs attention. It seethes, it curses, it breathes. It is ever present. It is a safe way to express its destructive urges. Shadow is murmuring, telling me about me. Shadow says, I have not evolved. Primal instincts still strong. Shadow takes a bite, will exterminate anything in sight, perceived as danger. People close to me, strangers, can trigger its wrath, and left unattended, my shadow would surely break free to attempt murder if it wasn't given a pen in which to express fear, loathing, or frustration. My ability to give shadow another outlet has changed our relationship, but shadow remains the same. Where my deepest fears reside, in its lurking places, guarded by angels of light, shadow solemnly haunts and expresses its plight. Not giving a shit what's wrong or right, my darkest desires live in shadow. No conscience, no remorse, no understanding. It wants to forgive, but it lacks the capacity. So it stalks, silently crouching in dark spaces. It growls as I throw in another poem to devour. The only thing that pacifies its prehistoric tendencies, its voice speaks clearer in this moment, in this hour, giving it power. When I hear it, and I'm the only one listening, until now. Thank you.
Unmute yourselves and give it up for Terry Rose Jurtson.
Yes, Terry, that was great.
Always dope, Terry.
Terry Rose Jurtson representing New Jersey, not Philly. I'm sorry, she's a Phillies fan. And speaking of baseball, I am broke, folks, because I am going to opening day for the New York Yankees versus the Red Sox. I'm bringing letters, so I'm excited about that, speaking of baseball. But nonetheless, make sure you go give Terry a follow. Funny's mom. Thank you, Terry. Appreciate you. Jersey in the building, just with their bad pizza. All right, I also want to give a shout out. I can't believe I missed the OG Paul Skiff. The man who's got more right to this open mic than I do. Paul, we love you here. We appreciate you. Paul actually worked with the founders of the Nuyorican Poets Cafe. I love this dude. I've known him for a while. I first met him at when I used to host, the very first time I hosted at the Nuyorican Poets Cafe at 1 a.m. He is a true Lower East Side and a true Nuyorican Poets Cafe poet and member. Thank you, Paul. And of course, Annie Lur. I can't believe I forgot Annie. She is one of the newest mainstay members here at the Monday Night Online Open Mic, and she had also came here on a Monday and killed it in person. Right now, if you're hearing any background noise, that is because, of course, they got the on-site open mic here as well. And also, I saw we have a newcomer, Roy Franklin here. I don't know who that is, but Roy, I appreciate you. Thank you for checking us out. All right. Latrell Jacobs isn't here, so that means we only got two left, and we got Michelle Ortiz and then Elemental. First, we go with Michelle Ortiz. Now, Michelle is no stranger to the Monday Night Online Open Mic. She has performed a couple of times, but she did attend a workshop, and it was fire. She got some fire. I hope she comes back. Nonetheless, even if she doesn't come back to the workshops, I hope she does. But even if she doesn't, she better be coming back to the Monday Night Online Open Mic. Yo, family, I'm about to get her to tell us where we can find her online, and I need y'all to hound her so she comes back on Mondays. Michelle, let the folks know where they can find you online, your social media handle, and then we ready for your poetry, sis.
Thank you so much. I had an amazing time at the workshop, so I appreciate you for having that and welcoming us and making that such like an amazing environment to create. So thank you for that. I don't have any social media right now, so like I'm just gonna be here. I promise y'all I'll be here, and I definitely plan on going to more of the workshops. I wasn't planning on performing today. I was just gonna come and listen to you beautiful people perform your beautiful pieces. But I was offered to perform, so I was like, okay. And I found this one. I wrote it a very long time ago. I was in a very like different state of mind, and yeah, I figured I'd just perform it now since we're here, you know. So it's the first time like reading it in front of anybody, so bear with me, y'all. Baby girl, hold your tongue. Keep it locked up tight. Allow your silence to be a dictator. Your far off gaze, bitch face and awe, its defense. You are too powerful to allow unintentional syllables to slip through by the skin of their teeth. Keep your lips shut. Allow your eyes to gaze. You are a passenger in this body and on this plane. There are sharks in these waters, and snakes and alligators and hippos and piranhas. Fuck around and get your back broken. Fuck around and get your throat ripped out, voice cords and all. Your voice is too precious, too mystical. That shit go too hard, reaches too far, holds far too much weight. Your voice is more. was the first to lead a resistance, to demand attention, to validate your existence, had the gall to call your abuser by his name without flinching. Your voice is more than an accumulation of vibrations. It is a roadmap to your being. When you open your mouth, hold steadfast, embrace the wildfire that rumbles in your belly. You do not owe anybody an explanation. You do not owe them anything, not a reaction, not a sound. Thank you.
Ooh, unmute yourself. Give it up for Michelle Ortiz.
Michelle. Bring that fire.
Okay, I think Paul Skiff may have gotten hacked because that came from his. I don't know what that is, but it looked like it came from Paul Skiff. I think he got hacked. I hope all is good, Paul. Yo, nonetheless, give it up one more time. Oh, well, we can't, but throw your snaps up in the cabs for Michelle Ortiz, yo. Check out Michelle Ortiz. She's hiding her social media because she knows how we do. We're going to come for her and be like, why ain't you on Mondays? What you doing? Why ain't you on Mondays? She's a fantastic writer. Thank you, Michelle. I threw a curveball to her at last second to come and check us out and hang out with us. Oh, no, there are two Paul Skiffs here. That's what it is. Paul Skiff wasn't. Hold up. Yep, we had another Zoom bomber. It was the fake Paul Skiff. Okay. Sorry, Paul. Sorry I accused you of getting hacked. You didn't. It was the fake Paul Skiff. Now that I got rid of him, let us properly one more time unmute yourselves and give it up for Michelle Ortiz, y'all. Let's give it up for her.
Rip it. That's how you come.
Too
Great
hard.
job.
That shit too hard though.
Okay, please support again.
Michelle Ortiz, the Zoom bombers tried to get us. They not doing it. They not doing it. We giving our people's love. All right, Mariah, make sure that you check your email because I sent it to you. Mariah is going to end us off with the Good Night Sweet Poet poem tonight. But before we get to her, we're going to get to my man, Elementals, who looked like he had his ears lowered and shaved, aka got a haircut like in that background as well, brother. A pleasure to see you as always. Elemental, let the good folks know where they can find you online, and then we ready for your fire.
Man, it is always good to be a part of New Yo. This is home, man. Before anything else, make sure everybody in this Zoom and watching gives Advocate of Wordz a follow. That is the dopest host in the Zoom verse, you know, Wordz with a Z, because, you know, poetic license, what, that cat's from the Bronx. So this is brand new, man. Storm Gods in the building, Men Who Heal, Poison Clan rocks the world, sound from the underground. This is brand new, man. So forgive me for the paint slinging. This is it's a bad guy. They say I'm a menace, that's the picture they paint. They say a lot about me, let me tell you what I ain't. I don't mean to be this toxic, but I was born this way, they'll tell you. My blood runs cold as Arctic wonderland just off the coast of hell, where demons are created in worse conditions, better known as dysfunction, while some of us simply call it home. You know, where hell spawns are born to bastards taking drastic measures to breed catalysts for catastrophe, dick dastardly snickering, darkening skies with ink blot patterns that look more evil than cerebral implantation of second-class citizenship with cowhide surgery. Crack didn't always come in rock-sized death sentences or prescription. Oh, hell, there he go again, talking that, walking that conspiracy theory of a matrix reject in true Morpheus fashion, screaming the system has you wrapped around its package, tight as gorilla fists on vines that strangle lives for sport. Speaks so well for the people, yet tongue carries more footprints than lies told, and heart broken with these hands. Be a man, they said. Try father, less riot, insider, part fluid, part lighter, all gas. Stop playing victim, dysfunctional, putrid fruit from rotten trees of atrocious orchards grown in cursed lands of hurt people, pollinating hurt people with same old lines and tired lines of poetry and blistering creativity, crawling at every waking moment to be me something more than reasons that we're here to cheer every mishappenstance that left me public enemy number one. The one. They say speak only when spoken to. Keep your mouth shut. Speak through displaced equations, making me X in unbalanced calculations of childhood fables, and still call me obtuse. On psychotic scale, thinking of me in depths of despair, could care less about anxiety-riddled days mixed with painful truth that nightmares of dreams and glorious packages say I love you with straight faces. Pouring entropy into morning routines and call it bliss, faithfully wasting away. They say multiply X by the square root of Y. Do you need to be so creative? Related to Brother Malcolm and every militant shred of his resistance. Let my mama tell it. You see, they say the less I say, the less gets said for and by the people I know. Barely have enough to say when my ass is on the line or caught in a lie told, exposed to cold light of day and sparkling moments of truth coming from where I'm from. The darkness will always feel like home. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be this toxic, but I was born this way. I always sing right on to the darkness. Why wouldn't I? It's my home. So say goodnight to the bad guy. The darkness salute you. Peace.
Ooh, unmute yourselves. Give it up for Elemental.
Man is not human.
Down to the underground. Man who healed.
Top 5 better alive.
Wow.
Real.
Elemental.
And that's this.
Make sure you go give him a follow. You can check out his website, elemental.com. When you spell elemental, you take out the T and you put in the number 2. My man representing the West Coast. Can't wait for him to get back here over East. Elemental, I appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much, man. He fire. He all kinds of fire. He's always giving so much love to everyone. So we about to wrap things up one more time. I would like to thank our producer, Mr. Ron Mark Thompson. I love you, brother. I appreciate you. Make sure that you go check him out. He's got his hands in a lot of cookie jars. The sung hero of the community. Of course, you can give me a follow at Advocate of Words. When you spell words, that's with a Z, because, as Elemental told you, poetic license. All right, so make sure you go give me a follow. Thank you, everyone, for checking this out. Check out NewYorican.org. Check out New Yorican Poets Cafe and all the social medias, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, the YouTubes. If you want to rewatch this show and hear all the fire from our other poets, make sure you do that. Next week, the 2-year anniversary. Gonna have 2 minutes to spit whatever you want. We're gonna try to get to like 40 poets, maybe even more. I may just have this go like 3 hours so we could celebrate the shit out of us. I so love being able to do this for 2 years. We've been able to do this for 2 years. The world has opened back up for us here in New York City. The cafe has opened back up and we are still rocking out here. And that is because of y'all. I appreciate y'all. Now, you have heard my voice all night. Enough is enough. We are about community here, so we are going to end with one of the members of our community with our poem, Good Night, Sweet Poet. With that being said, Mariah, take us home.
Good night, sweet poet. Thank you for sharing what you've written. Good night, sweet poet. Thank you for taking the time to listen. Good night, sweet poet. May your dreams be as imaginative as tonight's poems. Good night, sweet poet. Thank you for inviting the spirit of Miguel Algarín into your home. This has been the Monday night online open mic presented by the Nuyorican Poets Cafe, hosted by Advocate of Words. On behalf of the community tonight, I, Mariah Askew, would like to say good night, sweet poet.